सलाम मेरे अजीज पंखों।
Taekook, leave me, I said and pushed him back, who was coming more closer. But he, being stubborn and naughty, kept moving closer to me, and I was just moving back to save myself from my husband. His eyes were intense and filled with love. 5 years of our marriage passed, but he was still the same, stubborn and demanding. Jungkook, you will not stop running away from me, he said, and in a second pulled me to him by my waist. I collided with his chest, and his strong arm snagged down to my waist, pulling me closer. His other hand reached my face to play with my hair locks. Taekook, leave me. Jungkook and Taeyeon must be coming. I said while pushing him back, but he was just coming closer. He started taking steps toward me, still keeping me in his arm. I was stuck in his arm, as usual. He was really a stubborn devil to handle. We both were moving back, hitting my back with wardrobe. He stopped and leaned on my face. Cook, my breath got stuck in my throat. His lips started roaming on my face, leaving intense kisses, making my heart beat faster. They cook Jungkook, and I was saying when he rubbed his thumb harder against my lip to shut me up. Jungkook, this time I want a daughter, he whispered in my ear and moved down on my neck. Wet kisses all along. My breath got dragged, and I was feeling helpless in front of him, in front of his heated touch. I was scared at one side that someone will might come because our room door was opened, but on other side I was melting in his arm. I was losing myself in his heated love. He started biting on my neck, and I moaned slowly. My hands moved to his hair and started playing with them while he was busy in giving me those butterflies in my stomach by his kisses. Jungkook, Papa, a voice came, and that was enough to bring me back to my senses. Jungkook, I pushed him back and turned to the door. I was still breathing heavily. As I turned to the door, I saw my elder son, who was 4 years old. Jungkook was coming, and with him, my younger son, Taeyeon, was following behind him. Both stepped in the room with their little feet. Jungkook, hey champ, they Cook said and ran to Jungkook, who was smiling on Cook voice. My baby, I said and leaned down to pick my cute son Taeyeon. Jungkook, Dad? Jungkook called Jungkook, and he started tickling him. I smiled. Look at them, who were now on bed laughing with each other and tickling. They, Dada didn't talk to our champ, I said, looking at Theon. He nodded and I smiled on his innocence. Turning to Jungkook, I walked to him and sat on bed in front of them, who was busy in themselves. Excuse me, little master, I said, and both Jungkook and JK stopped and looked at me. They looked at me and then at each other. They smiled to each other and turned to face me again. Yes, cutie, they said in union. Make me shocked, you both devils, I said and threw a cushion on them, make them laugh. In all this, Theon started crying. We didn't notice them. He was crying so much that I was getting difficult for me to calm him. Cutie, you don't know anything, Jungkook said and took Theon from my arm. Jungkook, come to dad. As he went to Jungkook, he crying and start smiling. Theon, dad, he called him and Jungkook smiled. Yes, my life, Jungkook said and lay down on bed, taking Theon with him and made him sit on his stomach. I walked out, leaving father sons together, and made my way out of the room. Stepping toward the kitchen, I was smiling. You were standing busy in eating. I was amazed looking at her, who was doing completely justice with food. Madam, sit down. I started on the voice and saw Jia Payong coming to Ju and hold her to make her sit. He was wearing an apron and was cooking something while Yu was busy having her food with sauce and ketchup. They I saw Hyung cooking something in a pan, and she was asking again and again for it. Hope, I am coming, love. You, take, come have some. No, thank you. You just keep eating. My niece or nephew was must want it. I was making her giggle. You was married happily with Jio Phyong. Both were so happy. It's been 2 years of their wedding, and now you was expecting. Both were so happy, and Jio was always there to fulfill her cravings. At night, they, Papa, love you so much. I said, looking at my son who was ready to fall asleep. Both were asleep near our bed. I was smiling, look at my cute sons who were my life. I turned to go when Theon suddenly started crying. I immediately turned to pick him up. My son, I said while roaming in my room. I was grazing Theon back and he was sleeping with his head on my shoulder. They, I looked at Jungkook who was busy in his work. Many files were open in front of him and was his laptop either. I smiled, look at him. I checked Jungkook who was also awake. They, gosh, these kids are exactly like Cook. Jam, sleep now, Jungkook. No cutie, he said and I heard Jungkook laugh. It's all because of you. I told you not to call me cutie in front of kids. I said and turned back to Jungkook who was smiling. They, it's Papa. I'm your Papa, not cutie. Jungkook, don't scare my son. Jungkook's voice interrupted me. He came down from bed and picked Jungkook in his arm. Both laughed, looked at me and each other. I just sighed. This time, Theon started crying again. Shh, Papa is here. Jungkook took Theon from my arm, and now both were hanging on their arm. He was just roaming in the room with our son. I smiled and turned to the wardrobe. As I stepped, Jungkook, Uma, Grandma, Theon, Grandma. All three boys come together as they saw Jungkook's mother standing on the door. I turned to the boys who was smiling like their favorite person. I smiled and Uma entered. Mr. Ron, my son, Uma said and kissed them all. They all smiled and Uma took Theon from Jungkook's arm. Theon was also ready to go with his grandmother's arm. Miss John, I am taking my sons with me, Uma said and left from there. I sighed and closed the door. I saw Jungkook back to the bed and start doing his work. I took my dress out and went to change in the washroom. I was so tired and really want to sleep. I turned off the light and turned the night bulb on. I closed my eyes to fall in sleep, but a arm snaked around my waist. In a second, he pulled me to him. My eyes snapped open and I collided with his chest. My arm wrapped around his shoulder. Cook, you scared me. I said, look at him, whose face was visible in the dim light of night bulb. Jungkook, you thought I'll let you sleep? He said, and his cold hand reached my face. His fingers started playing with my features. His fingers were tracing my face, making my heart beat faster. His thumb reached on my lips and started running on it. Jungkook, I said. He was all time looking at my lips. Jungkook, you remember what I say in the morning? He said while leaning onto my lips. What? I shuddered with closed eyes, but truly his touch was burning me. I didn't know how to do this to me. He blocked my all sense of thinking. I was just feeling my all words lost. Cook, I'm on with his heated breath strangled my skin on my jaw. Jungkook, I want a daughter this time, he said, making my eyes open. His intense eyes were on me, and I just keep looking at him. His finger moved onto my neck, teasing me. My breath got triggered, and I know he liked to tease me. He was watching me all the time while touching me with his hand. They cook, please. I pleaded for what I didn't know. His finger reached my collarbone and started grazing it. My eyes closed down when I feel his hand moving down. Cook, I'm on, and he started kissing me with his love on my neck, and I lost it. I gave into him. He whispered his hated breath and kissed for making me forget everything. All the night passed, meat melting in his arm, and he just kept taking me in his arm.